Hello friends, I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you doing today? How's life in your world? I'm good. I'm out of shape. You know that? I discovered that yesterday. And I actually spent quite a bit of time down here yesterday working. And I didn't film much of it. If you watched the video I did yesterday about the motorcycle tire, I did film that, obviously. And that was my first attempt at, by the way, I'll link it up here if you haven't seen it yet. That was my first attempt at changing a motorcycle tire like that. I have done hundreds or maybe even thousands of car tires as a mechanic, but I always had tire changing machines to do that for me, or to help me do that. So this is my first attempt at changing a tire just with, you know, a couple of pry bars. They're called spoons, but a couple of tire spoons and muscle. And it wore me out. It took me a lot longer than that video portrays. But so I did that yesterday, and then I did the video, and I just got frustrated doing that video. And that video is a really good example of why I don't do more project videos. I do a lot of goofy little things. For instance, I made this sled one day because I needed a sled. And I didn't record it, I just did it. Why didn't I record it? Well, because there's about 1 million sled videos. It's just a piece of plywood with some runners and some fences. Well, yesterday, while I was down here, I needed to cut some higher boards for, I'll show you that in a second, and I realized that I was cutting dangerously close to the top of this fence. So what I did yesterday was I added little raised pieces on the front and the back to give myself a little bit more strength in this area when the blade gets up too high. I didn't record that. Why didn't I record that? Well, I don't know. Because it just happened. And that was because I needed more lumber storage. When I went and bought the lumber store, the lumber from the guy a couple weekends ago, it's just been sitting over here on my miter saw bench. So if I want to use the miter saw, I had to move the lumber, and my rack was full. I only had one rack. So I made these, which are just simple 2x4 brackets. Actually, they're really sturdy. I'm really surprised at how nice they are. If you have open studs, I kind of wish I'd have done the video, because I've seen lots of lumber rack videos, and they're always like these complex things. This was just some pieces of 2x4 with some 45-degree miters on some of them, screwed together and put on a wall. And you know, like 5 screws in each, and there's 6 screws total, and you're done. And it's super sturdy. So I had to make those, and that's what I needed that for. And I didn't film that, and the reason is, if you watch the motorcycle video, I missed like a whole part of the story. I missed, the camera wasn't on for me putting the tube back in the tire, which is one of the harder parts of changing a motorcycle tire, because if you put the tube in wrong, you run the risk of popping the tube, or pinching the tube, or catching it with your tool and bursting it, and then you have to take the whole thing back off to get the tube out. And so that's kind of the most important part of the video, and I didn't capture it. And so I got frustrated. So I just came out here and did other stuff, because I know that lots of you have asked for more project videos, and I have them to do, you know. Part of doing the shelving in there was there's this huge piece of, like, I don't know, probably 3/4 inch. I don't know what it's called. It's the OSB that's waterproof, whatever that's called. That I got out of the new construction area down here, and I need a dust collector for my dust collector. I want to make a bin to put this guy on, and that would be perfect for that. But I don't know if that's interesting, and I get frustrated when I miss shots like that tire shot, that tube, that it's just like, man, I'm so scattered when I get going like this. I think the camera's on, the camera's not on, and then I've lost an entire set of shots or part of the story. And if you can't tell the whole story, then what's the point of doing it? I published a video anyway because I just didn't care at that point. I was having fun editing to that music, which, by the way, is from a guy named ZH Fabrications. You should check his channel out. It's pretty good if you like making stuff. And the music was awesome. So, I want to make a dust collector. I want to make a cajon. I want to make a new box for my miter saw that actually works. I want to make I want to move my router table and make some stuff with it. I need to make shelving for under here and shelving for under there, or actually drawers here, shelves there, cabinets there. Like, I have lots of stuff that I want to do, but I think I need to just... The camera kind of gets in the way, and I'm okay with that. Like, especially when people want to see those videos, I'm okay with the camera getting in the way. But when I get, I don't want to say overwhelmed, when I get into the project and then I lose focus on the camera, and the next thing I know, I've done 10 steps without the camera on, then I get frustrated, and then it's like, why am I doing this? I don't know. I got to figure out a solution, and maybe that solution is like a shot list. If you're traditionally making films, you have a shot list, and if I'm going to make a project, generally I know what I'm about to do. That's not always true. Sometimes I just go for it, but I generally have an idea, and so maybe I need to make sure that I get each shot that I intend to get. That way, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it would have helped me with the tire situation because I thought the camera was recording when I was putting the tube in. Maybe it's this little screen. I might have had the screen down and couldn't see if it was on or what, but I don't know. Frustrating. But I did get stuff done, and I'm turning this into a pretty functional little space. If I could get a shed built this year and get like the lawnmowers and the garbage cans and stuff out of here, I would be comfortable working in here. I don't want to say I would be ecstatic because it's still tiny, but I can move the motorcycle outside and work in here. I'm excited though. It's motorcycle season. I'm ready. Normally I ride all winter, but with the tire as bad as it was, I was not. No, and I just couldn't afford a new one until now. So now I have a tire. I'm ready to ride. Can't wait. So thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being my friends, and I will see you tomorrow.
Hey, Doc, wait! I want to ask you something.
Today's random fact comes from golf.about.com. Why do golfers yell 4? Yelling 4 is simply a shorter way to yell watch out ahead or watch out before. It allows golfers to be forewarned, in other words. Any golfer who hits an errant shot that sends their golf ball hurtling towards golfers ahead should yell out 4 as a warning.